When it comes to programming with C++, the possibilities are endless. Today, programming engineers who work with C++ have made daily tasks so much easier on computers. We use so many programs every day to do our daily tasks, and most of those programs are made using C++. As students, we also learn how we can design our own programs in order to make tasks easier. Take for example this program where its main purpose is to calculate how much you earn per week depending on how many hours you've worked that week and the rate at which your employer is paying you. However, what makes this program tick? What makes it function? How do you input a value and later that value is calculated? The answer is in this line of code. Variables. There are many types of different variables in C++. Double is just one of them. In this video, we're going to be talking about variables, the different types of variables, their sizes, and their uses. Alright, so let's get right into it. One of the most common types of variable is the integer, or int for short. You might have already seen this in the main console command that is compulsory for every single C++ program. You may also use it to declare a variable. The integer variable is responsible for holding whole numbers such as 10, 9 million, 70, 986, and so on. It has a total size of 4 bytes. Next, we have the double variable. The double variable enables a program to store integers that have floating decimal places. For example, 987.2968 or 1.2 or 5.793 and so on. Unlike an integer, because of the extra floating point and digits behind it, it now has an even bigger size of 8 bytes. The next type of variable is called the char, which has a size of 1 byte. The reason why it's so small is because its main purpose is to store letters such as A, T, Y, Z, E, I, O, U, and so on. We won't be getting into how to assign certain values that you can input to a variable, but what I can tell you for now is that when you write a program that makes use of a char variable and you want to assign a letter to it, you need to write something along the lines of char is equals to single quote and then write the letter that you want to put. The fourth type of variable is called the string. It is similar to char, but the only difference is that its possibilities are endless because it can store various strings of letters. So its size can range anywhere between 1 byte to hundreds of bytes, depending on how long your sentence is or how many words you want to put or how many letters are in it. For example, hello world, which is a basic for any programmer. Or my name is Donkey. Or he went to the mall today. Or in the case of if you want to assign an input to it, let's say I want to make a program that tells me what I must do based on the weather. So let's say I want to tell the program that today is sunny. And notice that unlike single quotes, which you assign to char variables, to assign something to a string variable, you need to surround it with double quotes. And as I said in the previous video, Dev C++ does open and close brackets among other things for you, and it does the same for double quotes. The last type of variable is bool, which, surprise surprise, has a size of 1 byte. Now you might be thinking, why is this the case? It's because bool can only hold true or false. So the only two possibilities are 1 and 0, or where 1 is equal to true and 0 is equal to false. You might be asking, how is bool actually used in code? Well, for example, if I were to make a program that tells me if I were to get a bonus, let's say I work a certain number of hours per week, I can declare two variables, the first of which is For example, I'm not going to write the full program. I'm just going to declare some variables. Int hours, so we can input hours into the program. And then we put bool overtime. So I can then write, let's say, a condition if I work, let's say, more than 40 hours. So if the input for hours is more than 40, then we can say that overtime is equals to true, or overtime is equals to 1. And the truth is, it also doesn't necessarily have to be 1, because of the fact that bool can only hold a true or false or 1 and a 0. Even if you say let's say overtime, which is a bool variable, you assign it a value of 9,876. If you use overtime in a calculation, let's say I'm just going to simply write hours plus overtime. Anything that you put input for your hours, because it's an integer, it will just come out, let's say 40 hours. But even if I input any other number than 1 into overtime, it will still come out as 1. So my total would be 41. So as you can see, there's many different possibilities for bool. After all, it was the binary code which started it all. That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.